Hi there, welcome to my channel, How Not To. Today's video is about Colourpop. This year, for this October, they released a palette called Gather Round Sisters, and it is the three sisters of the movie Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson sisters, which are witches.
Witches?
Yes?
I saw that movie when I was a kid, and I freaking loved it.
We shall be back!
I do not do scary movies. My imagination is too great. I can't look out windows at night, and I have nightmares. I just can't do it. Big fan of happy endings. So I love this movie. The actresses that play the Sanderson sisters just killed it with these roles. They were so awesome.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Bette Midler,
Hello?
Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
The palette is really pretty. It like embraces the colors that these characters wore during the movie. The colors you can use on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of sparkly ones, but there's also a lot of matte, which is really nice. Matte colors are not as bright, and you can really blend them out so they're not so strong, so you can make it a look you could wear to work. There's enough sparkle in the other colors, the metallics and the shimmers, that you can really dress it up if you wanted to. The palette is sold out, so I can't get the palette. My friend got a hold of it, and she's like, please do makeup looks. So I'm going to try to do 3 looks with this palette. So I scoured through my makeup collection to find colors that are similar. They're not these colors, but they're close enough that if you do have the palette and you're looking at all these colors and you're like, I don't know what to do with all these colors, I'm going to do 3 looks that can show you what exactly you can do with a color. So I'm going to fast forward it so that you're not bored to tears. I'll just be doing my eyes. My camera is not good enough to totally zoom into my eyes, so we'll see what I can do with what I got. People and their loud vehicles. Oh my god. Raw Beauty Christy, I feel your pain.
Okay, please drive by. Continue. Drive on. Am I orange?
Let's get started. So the first look I'm gonna do is with the greens, because greens I think are the scariest eyeshadow for me. I look at greens and I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do with that? I love green. Or I have green in my eyes, so it'll really make them pop. If you have brown eyes, green looks amazing on brown eyes. So this green in this palette is a more warm toned green, and this palette I would say is more warm toned than cool toned. That's my educated guess. I could be totally wrong because I'm not a makeup artist. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments if you are a makeup person or an art person who has better grasp of the color wheel. We're struggling here. So I'm going to grab the green that I found in another Colourpop palette, the Villains palette, the Misunderstood. I put little stickers where I thought the colors I could use from the palette. So this is the green from this palette that I thought was close enough to the green that I see on the Gather Round Sisters palette. It's not going to be the same. I've had a hard time matching colors from other Colourpop palettes that I have with this Gather Round Sisters. It's just a bit of a difference. There's either a little more yellow or a little more red than all the colors I have. So this is the closest green I have to that green that they're showing. Because this is me looking on the computer, and usually when you're buying online, the colors are just a little bit off from what they are in real life, so it's a really hard to get a grasp for what they look like. And they didn't do any swatches, so I couldn't compare swatches either. So I'm gonna go with that green, and because it's close enough. So what I'm going to have to do is combine colors. So I'm gonna take from the Ruby May Festival Days palette, I'm gonna take this green and this orange and that yellow and try to create that green. So this is a little browner than what I see on the screen. And the toughest part about this is that I don't know if I can recreate that same color on this eye. Taking that darkest color and putting it on first. Was that a good idea? Absolutely not. Don't start dark first. I got a little too excited and I went gung-ho for it. So this palette is not as high quality as others. So you can see it's powdering up. And so I'm just collecting those powders and I'm tapping it on this plate so I can mix the pigments together on there. Then I'm going to grab the other color, this color, and this color. Okay, so I've got my mixture there. And I added moisture to it to get all the colors to stick together while making it like a paste. Oh yeah, there we go. So I didn't put any eye primer on because I'm going to be doing 3 looks. I don't want longevity. I want to be able to easily wash this makeup off. So we got a nice muddy green happening there. The green in the actual palette is much nicer than this. You'll just have to use your imagination. And to help buff that out, I'm going to use a lighter brown. Try to find a color similar to Come Little Children. I'm going to go into my Morph palette. Morphe. This is the Morphe Artistry palette. Beautiful palette with lots of colors. I'm going to try this tone. Now the green, we're going to go over top. And I'm just going to use my finger because you get the best payoff. Look at that. Oh, stunning. And I'm going to make like a triangle. I'm going to start here and then just go up to there for definition and do it on the same side. That's fun. Smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm going to use an inner corner highlight. This color right here. It's like a yellowy gold with some shimmer in it. I'm going to use a tiny brush to get in there. I feel like that needs a little bit more depth. On the palette, they have a sparkly black. There's a sparkly black from the Misunderstood palette again, and it's called Revenge. The sparkles are bluey tinged. It's very pretty. So I just want to use a little bit. So I'm going to use this flat brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit because I'm just going to create a V right where the crinkle of my eyelid is and along the lash line. And it looks like I might have to build this up a bit. Build it up some more. I'm just gonna take the leftover shadow from on this brush and run it a little bit under my eyes. Make my lower eyelashes look a little thicker than what they actually are. I'm not gonna do eyeliner, I'm just gonna put on some fake lashes. So these are from my friend Michelle Lovell, a local makeup artist. I can't remember what the names of these lashes are, but you can go to any place that sells lashes and get similar looking ones. I really like these kind of lashes. It has a thin band, so it's more comfortable, and it's a bit spaced out and spread out, so it actually makes your them look more like your real lashes, because it's not this full thick on caterpillar crawling across your face. It adds a little bit more to your eyelashes, but it's not, they're not obviously fake lashes. I'm not going to put glue on them. I just want to see if they'll just stick temporarily. And this is the first look with the greens. So those look like really strong colors, but if you blend them out enough, then they're more approachable. Actually, I should put some concealer on. So I just put some concealer on to clean up the bottoms. Yes, I still have bags under my eyes, but you know, that's just my eyes. You can see the green looks really nice. It's not too overwhelming. It looks strong in the palette, but if you blend it out, add some lighter browns to really blend it out near the top, then it's not going to be as dramatic as it looks in the pan. Light hand, really buff it out. If you buff too much out, just add more color to build it up to the level and intensity you want. And those green shimmers really tone down the darkness, so that's also a bonus. And adding a much lighter, a yellow or a white, some kind of pale inner corner highlight really lightens up the look. So yeah, that is a really pretty look. I'm going to take a picture, wipe off my face, and start with the next look. This time I'm going to use this e.l.f. shadow. It is a liquid shadow, and I'm going to use it kind of like a primer, but mostly it's just a base so that it doesn't affect the look of the new makeup that I put on top. Let it dry, and then we can start again. Okay, so I put the e.l.f. eyeshadow on my eyes, and now I'm going to go in with a color similar to the color on the Gather Round Sisters palette, which is called Hello Salem. And it's just a nude shadow color to seal the deal on that liquid shadow base. So I'm going to go in with this Morphe matte pale eyeshadow that's very similar to that color. This just sets it in place. This powder will help me have the other shadows blend a bit easier. So the next look I want to do is using another one of those bold colors, because I'm always doing bold. And it is Night of Frolic. And it's like a reddy brown color. So from what I can gather on my laptop, that color is similar to this color from Physicians Formula, this red called Tropic Like It's Hot, because I believe that's as close as I can get to that shade. Whoops. I'm just tearing that down a little bit. So that's nice and smoky, although it kind of looks like I have an eye infection. Making it less intense. Inexpensive eyeshadows, you can really blend the color out so it's not so intense. So I'm gonna go back, add a little bit more pigment, bring that color back. Let's see if we can go a little bit darker, see how intense we can make that brown. Now it's looking like it's falling down here a lot. Not to worry, we'll clean that up with concealer. Above that color in the Gather Round Sisters palette, there's a sparkly metallic-y pinky color. I think it's called Tis Firm, but I don't know. So I think it's similar in color to this Ruby May Cosmetics Kaleidoscope palette in the color Aphrodite, this shimmery color right here. So we're gonna give it a shot. And I'm gonna use my finger because it's not really coming out well with the brush. There we go, that's better. Look how much that brightens up that eye. Smooth it out, make it look like it's all blended. I'm gonna add a gold for the inner corner again. And I'm gonna pick a color that's similar to the shade Coven, mid-tone gold from the Morphe palette. So we'll try that. You could add a nice brown eyeliner to this, but I'm just gonna add lashes. I don't wanna have to wash my eyes repeatedly because they'll get irritated. Let's just clean this up a little bit. And this is the next look. You know, it's a lot of color, but if you have hooded eyes and you open your eyes, it's gone. And really pretty reddy pink that go really well together. They look really bold on the palette, but again, you just buff them out, you add the shimmer to it, it really brightens it up so it's not as intimidating. The next and final look is from the color called Dead Man's Toe. Ew! It is my favorite color of the palette because it's the most purpley, on the purpley tone of a dark pink. And there's a color above it, I can't see what it's called. Anyway, but it's a really pretty pink. Metallic up there, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna use a color that's similar to that. That purpley color, I tried to find something similar. Going back to the Morphe Artistry palette, I thought this color was the closest. The one on the internet has a little bit more red tone, like more pinky tone, and this is a little bit more plummy. So it's not exact, but it's fairly close. I already put the liquid eyeshadow. I'm going to add a powder eyeshadow on top of that. So I'm just going to go back with the same matte skin tone color just to make blending a little bit easier and hopefully less patchy. So now I'm going to go in with that plummy tone. Wish me luck. So pretty. Wow. Okay. That just blended it all away. You can tell that's a very cheap palette because the pigment just disappeared. So we're going to have to build that up. Cheap mattes, that's what you get. And this palette is pretty old too. I don't know if palettes being old make a difference. I could use setting spray as well. Nope, it just disappears right off my eyeball. So here's what we're going to do to try to keep that intensity up. I'm going to spray some Milani Make It Last setting spray on my hand. Then I'm going to get that brush wet just by tapping it a little bit and then putting it in the pan. Blending it out again. And I'm trying to remember to use a light hand. I'm not pressing the brush into the skin. I'm just trying to use the very, very tip of the brush. So I'm not brushing off all the pigment, but I keep forgetting. I'm just trying to concentrate and I always end up pressing way too hard. That also is brushing and smooshing all of the pigment off. Good enough for now. It's looking a little crazy. I'm hoping once I add some shimmer to it, it's going to calm down. So I'm going to add that shimmer here just to add some lightness over there and help this matte blend better because it's not quite doing it. So the pink in that palette, this is from the Tarte Mermaid palette, and it's this darker tone. It has a lot of pink shifts to it. This one's a little bit darker than the palette online. The palette online has a lighter pink metallic-y to this, where this one is that same kind of metallic-y throughout. It should be all right. Then I'm just gonna use the light gold for the inner corner, the same one that I used for the green eye look. I think similar to this goldy metallic-y color. Well, a little sloppy. Gonna buff out those edges a little bit. I'm gonna take a makeup remover cloth. I got a little too aggressive on this side. There, that's better. That's not as crazy. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the gold sparkle. And I'm using this Rasha B Cosmetics Mattes, Shimmers, and Glitters. And there's this gold glitter right here. Of course, one of you is gonna purchase the palette and look at all the colors and be like, you were way off, lady. So I'm dipping my finger into the glitter. Hello. And we're gonna glam right up to the stars. Oh. Pretty. I just want to keep it to the center of my eyelid because too much glitter is too much glitter. Well, yeah, the glitter got everywhere. Okay, well, that is super fun and super messy. If you wanted a softer look, I would use a brown eyeliner. With the glitter, might as well go glam. So I'm going to use a black eyeliner. I'm going to use this Ico Waterproof Lash Enhancing Carbon Black. My aim is to try to keep as close to my lashes as possible. I don't want a thick line because number one, whenever I try to do thick line, it's never even. And number two, because my eyes are hooded, if I do a thick line, it'll just erase all the eyeshadow and you won't be able to see it. So very thin, but it makes my eyelashes look that much thicker. Oh, the other side. This is gonna be brutal. So I'm just doing little stamping motions. I'm not dragging it across because my eyelids are so wrinkly and textured that it would just drag and become really, really uneven. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And then I'm gonna take a black eyeshadow and just soften that line up a little bit. Gonna be going back in with that black glittery one called Revenge. A thin brush just to follow along the lash line. And adds a little bit of sparkle. And then I can take what's remaining on the brush and just bring it down. I'm going to take what's remaining on this brush and I'm going to use the edge of it just to bring that plummy down a little bit too. Okay, now we're going to curl eyelashes. And we need our eyelashes to make a statement because this is so bold of a look. We need the mascara. So I'm going to use Too Faced. Damn, girl! Oh yeah, I get it all over your lid. Good job. And just to add some super duper drama, I'm going in with a kohl liner into the waterline. And then taking that thin brush that I used the black with and just trying to smooth any lumps or bumps that happened. So I just fixed up the eyeliner and now I'm adding the Colourpop Villains Collection lipstick, and this is the color Ursula and it's matte. It is quite a dry formula. So I'm going to add some gloss over top because it just is so dry. Take my lipstick brush. Ooh, I know. Another Colourpop product. This is Ultra Glossy Lip. It is the Disney Designer Collection, the Princess Collection. This color is called Bibbidi. It is a clear gloss with gold glitter to go with my gold eyeballs. Oh yeah, juicy. All right, and this is the final look. Very pretty. I love these colors. What a great palette. You can do so many looks. I, of course, did 3 super bold looks. Maybe not super wearable for most, but again, this color, if you didn't use the gold glitter, using a metallic gold that's a little more subtle, adds shine but not the glitz, to soften up the center and make the center of your eye pop, is an excellent color. Like, you could wear this to work if you're wearing jewel toned clothes, and it's adding color, but I don't think it's adding too much. Like the black in the waterline, that's dramatic. That's an evening look. If you have a darker skin tone, you can wear that anytime and you look amazing. But for white people, maybe not so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed these looks. Please comment below if you've seen Hocus Pocus, if it brings back childhood memories, if you have kids and you've shown them the movie and what they thought. Comment on the 3 looks that I did. Which one would you prefer? If you wanted to see any more color combinations, and I can create that in another look, or I can just post it on my Instagram so you can just see the pictures and not have to hear me drivel on. Thanks for joining me. Hope you had fun with me, and stay tuned next time. I'm hoping to do a Halloween costume and do Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Bye!
Good night. Sleep tight. No screaming.